That's not very nice. You know I only count so high. So, hey, all you crazy sci-fi and fantasy fans, it's time for your daily dose of shenanigans over here at the Blasters and Blades podcast. Just three nerdy veterans geeking out over our science fiction passions and fantastical fantasies, a place where magic is king, the sky is the limit, and space is the place. Cisca's already drunk, so her liver is shot. And without further ado, let's introduce the topic. So, we wanted to keep things fresh, so fresh and so clean. So to prevent from stagnating, we thought we'd do some more discussion panels, some more movie reviews, some book reviews. Nick is going to do some art house movie reviews where he draws on camera for you. I'm sure everything he draws will be PG, right? Right?
Yeah. I don't. That's a whole different podcast that when I draw the other stuff.
Okay. We don't expect respectable from Terry, so that's just a given.
But we also don't ask Terry to draw.
This is true.
Also a good thing.
And then, as you can see, one of the things we've decided to add to the repertoire is, I can sound sophisticated. We're going to do some fireside chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think that's a word.
Whatevs. Tomato.
There's a difference between retinue and repertoire. I'm sorry to have to break that to you.
You're all fired. You're voted off my island. Wow. So we're going to be doing a series of fireside chats where we sort of get together and we talk about various topics, sometimes with guests, sometimes without. If there are any topics you want us to delve into, you can hit us up in our Facebook group, which we'll talk about at the end of the show. And we'd like to do something special for some of our subscribers over there on Anchor FM, but they won't let us. So if you've got any suggestions, you can always email us directly and you'll get some preference on picking topics, etc. And without further ado, today's Fireside Chat will be hosted by Doc Cisca.
Yay! So we are going to talk about aliens and UFOs. With the pending rumored release in the U.S. of previously classified UFO data, I hope you all understand I'm talking about unidentified flying objects instead of something else, or UAP, where the unidentified aerial phenomenon? Well, I guess that's a good thing. I was worried what you were thinking about aerial, JR. We thought we'd have a fun talk about the subject of aliens. So, we're going to go ahead.
This is where we need the X-Files music in the background.
We're going to go ahead and introduce our wonderful group today. We did bring back, for those who remember sci-fi shenanigans, Winder. He is out of mundane jail. Not in a real jail cell, but, kidnapped.
That we know of.
Forced to do normal person things.
I'm just saying, this is the first time we've seen him since he stormed Area 51 way back when. So
I'm pretty sure there was some probing. There was probing involved.
I don't know. He can tell us all about that when we ask him about his alien experiences.
I went through that line twice.
We have Mel Todd, Terry Mixon, Ranger. Nick finally managed to get off the boat and come join us with. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So Ranger Nick finally got off the boat to join us with Mrs. Stabbies, his wife.
Stabby.
So Terry, go ahead and give a quick introduction of who you are so the readers know.
I am Terry Mixon, science fiction author of 25-ish books that just JR drags out of the closet anytime he wants to have some entertainment.
Mel, how about you?
Team Jared.
My name's Mel Todd. I've got about 25 or so novels out, and Cisca has slept with me more than any other author.
Yes, I have.
It's going to be that kind of show.
These are fireside chats, not strict podcasts.
Stay tuned for it. It's going to be that kind of show.
This is on Zoom. There's no telling what could happen.
There's a reason your camera doesn't work. And Winder.
So I write sci-fi, a little bit of fantasy, and a whole bunch of ghostwriting. And I'm beginning to wonder if anyone actually writes their own books anymore.
I do.
Ghostwrite your own stuff. That'll work for you.
Oh.
I know Mel does. I've sat on that couch behind her and stared at her going, "What are you doing? Pay attention to me. Your cat's sitting on me."
You're so needy, dog.
She is.
No, she just that way she gives me foot rubs, and I go and I leave her alone afterwards.
I'm coming to Mel's house. There's foot rub.
Oh, okay. I'd like to point out I give her smoked meat, whiskey, rum, and foot massages. So,
How are you still
and
single?
if she's not happy at this point, I don't know what to do.
Oh no,
So-
and she gives me books. I mean, it's like, why do I ever leave?
Miss Stabby was trying to say something, but I think we talked over her.
Who, her?
Yeah, her.
Miss
Which is-
Stabby.
No, okay. We thought you were saying something, but we couldn't hear you.
Oh, I was just voting that we're going to Mel's house.
Oh yeah, totally.
I have a smoke,
Smoked meat.
grill, a deck, and a garden. So I do really well.
And books. She's the reader of the house.
I'm on my way.
I am. You are welcome. My door is open. I have a couch or a swinging chair. To sit on the deck and enjoy the peace and quiet.
Fun.
You're in Georgia, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Fun.
Georgia. Fond memories.
So,
It's where they kicked me out of a perfectly good airplane a couple of times.
oh, you liked it and deserved it.
Oh yeah, Mother Benning. Where they turned where it's Fort Benning's school for gifted youngsters.
I heard it as Wayward Boys when I went through.
And Wayward Boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Some
being a comic book guy, I have to throw that in there, like Xavier's Academy.
Okay, so first of all,
Hold on, real quick. When you went through, was it Sandhill or Kelly Hill?
It was
your face.
Sandhill. Yeah.
Okay. So you're not old enough for Kelly Hill yet. Okay.
No,
And
no.
Terry, did you go to Benny?
I did not. I was at Fort Campbell. That was on the stupid air assault. I volunteered to go to jump school, but they wouldn't pay for it.
Would they let you jump out anyway?
Nope, I only got to rappel out of helicopters.
Which is really cool, actually.
Yeah, that's actually cool.
I was a helicopter crew chief when I was in the service, so I got to do a lot of flying around. It was pretty fun.
Did they let you actually drive the thing?
Yes, I got about 10 hours of sick time in over 4 years.
Wow.
Sick time or sick time?
Stick time.
Okay.
We don't ask and he doesn't tell.
We use the
Let's
same
move on.
terminology on the boats.
Okay, so very first question. Who believes in aliens?
Oh yes, 100%.
So
Yep.
everybody said yes.
This is audio,
If
right?
not, it'd
Because
be an
I
awful
don't think they
waste
can
of
hear
space.
you.
Yes.
We,
Yeah.
we have
Me and Stabby believe in aliens.
Yes.
We're pretty sure our son is one.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
at least the daughters.
Because you know how 11-year-olds, they're all awkward, so it's like somebody in a human suit.
Ooh, right.
And we are from Vegas, so I mean it's a possibility.
Vegas is very weird. I almost got kidnapped in Vegas, but that's a different story.
Was it by aliens?
Actually, I'm pretty
No, it
sure my
was by
mother
somebody
is.
who wanted to make me their wife.
Oh,
You sure that wasn't an Elvis impersonator?
That's
You're
possible.
wearing a dashiki.
Still doesn't rule out Elvis.
No,
Yep.
no, it doesn't. There are lots of Elvises.
totally
out
not
there.
googling
Elvis I?
dashiki.
What is the plural of Elvis? Elvis I?
Oh.
Your dog.
Elvis-y.
At least interest.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, back to aliens.
Well, I mean, if we're going to talk aliens, I have sworn for years my mother is one for two reasons. One, she has 3 extra vertebrae, and her heart is on the wrong side of her body.
What?
I still don't have any superpowers. It's extremely annoying.
Maybe you're an alien
You
too.
can create.
I
How about
beg
your
to differ.
superpower?
I think those massages are super powered.
Oh, there you go.
So speaking of
Oh,
aliens,
superpowered massages.
I don't know if you all have seen the footage that's already been released. And for me, it just confirms everything. Why aren't people freaking out? Why is everyone like, aliens, okay. And then they're worrying about other things.
Because they
That's
buried the
Because
lead
you
with all
were
the
supposed
political
to
garbage.
suppress the government.
Well,
I think there's
It's
aliens.
coming from the government.
Well, one, it is coming from the government, and two, most people have been really worried about things like
Paying their mortgage.
the
She's trying
the
to,
recent sickness.
hmm
There
trying
we
to
go.
keep us YouTube compliant.
But still,
Terry has a shoulder cat now.
All right, everyone take a drink. We've got a cat sighting.
don't do that. You'll die.
That is plotting.
Mine haven't shown up yet.
That cat might be an alien.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. That is a very
I think the
popular.
reason the world isn't freaking out about aliens is because they've got those guys on the History Channel, the Ancient Aliens guy, desensitizing everybody, thinking, "Oh, this is bull. This is bull. If the guy with the hair is doing this is bull."
So why do you think aliens haven't reached out to us then?
Would you? We're like the
Because they're
Oakland
smart.
of the universe.
Earth is the neighborhood where they lock the doors when they fly by.
Like they lock their doors when they fly by Earth.
They're like, oh no, this is a bad neighborhood. No. Turn around.
Earth.
Yeah, remember what happened last time we tried to make contact? Nothing but bad things.
Yeah.
We're savages,
One of the
basically. I'm sure.
planets in this galaxy. Be good, or we might send you there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Prison planet.
Right?
story
That
idea.
explains
What
so
if
much.
we are an alien penal colony?
Oh, so
No,
we're into the
even
probing
better.
again now?
There is an
What?
actual anime where they go into that Earth was actually the aliens settling here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
what if they
if
send all the
we're-
criminals here?
Kind of like an alien.
Where they
version
send
of
all the
Legend.
failed
We're the test
Research
subjects.
Yeah,
Let's
we
see
feel-
if they
One second.
survive.
Mel's trying to say something.
I was going to say, what if we're where they send all the failed research grad students? So we are the test subjects, and we're where all of those D students end up. Is here. You go study Earth because you suck.
And we're a sandbox. They don't care about destroying stuff.
That explains
Exactly.
that explains the GPA of everybody.
Hurtful, but accurate.
Ouch.
Hey, I was president of the Honors Society. Yeah, there weren't many people.
And you still join the army, and you're supposed to be the smart one.
No,
That's a good
when
point.
they handed me my induction letter, I went, "No, I don't join things. You joined the army," and I went, "Yeah, I learned better after that."
After that, I won't volunteer for anything ever again.
Except the book.
So maybe the aliens have tried reaching out and we were just too dumb to get the signal. Or they showed up before we were able to understand it. Like, we tried calling you and it was the dinosaur era.
They tried calling us
So-
about your car's extended warranty.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Just ignore the phone calls.
Somebody
have
needs to write that into a
other
space
Winder
opera.
been following the data dump that's been going on from the government?
Me?
Because of what I do for a living, I'm not going to say anything.
I
Winder
totally
used to
think
do
that
this-
Elon Musk should send a secret satellite into deep space that would send a coded signal back to Earth that all it says is, "We're calling about your extended car warranty," and wait for somebody to crack it, and then, yeah.
He's so awkward. He would totally do that. It's like,
That would be so
this is
great.
going to be so funny. I mean, I'm not going to be around when the signal hits, but it's going to be hilarious like 100 years from now.
So
Winder, didn't you do the
Multi-level
study thing?
marketing scheme.
We should.
Yeah.
Nobody does time capsules anymore. That would be a great time capsule.
It would.
because we're too ADD to remember what we have Facebook. It tells us what we posted last year.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a
That's why
visual.
you have to not, post about it. You just freaking put your stuff in there and bury it. And don't tell nobody.
I can't give up.
Then how do they find it?
No,
But in
that's
this
what you
generation, if you don't post about it, it's not real.
I totally want to see somebody open a time capsule and find an alien body inside it that's been here for 100 years.
Mhm. So what would it take for someone, or I say for the general population, to actually believe there are aliens? Footage won't do it. Any kind of footage, because I mean,
Actual aliens being here saying,
It would have to
"Dude,
be face-to-face contact, yeah.
But even then, we would deny it. We'd be like, "Oh, they're probably filming a movie nearby."
No, like
well, definitely if they came to Dragon Con."
human.
Yeah,
We'd
or-
have to- everybody would have to meet one at the same time.
Like if they showed up, I'd be like, because I live a minute away from San Diego's, convention center where they do Comic-Con. So if aliens showed up there, I'm like, did they
they
we
moved
got
Star
a
Trek
con?
Day?
We got a con this weekend? What's going on?
it's a great
So the
costume.
scary-
Yeah.
And
A great costume.
I think it would have to be an Independence Day thing where you look up and see this huge spaceship, because Yeah, because at that it would be like, I'm really sure we can't do that, and I don't think the Chinese can do that.
So,
So
but-
first,
think
Mel,
the-
if they did that, do you think we would have the scenario like played out in Independence Day where the guy was like, see, I told you they were real and they probed me and they still thought he was crazy and didn't believe him, even as the aliens are there?
Where it says real American
Have
Hero has
you
him on there.
met most of the people on Facebook?
Yeah,
The answer
okay, they
is
would still do it.
JR, you can be absolutely truthful and still crazy.
This is true.
Oh, me.
Randy
So-
Quaid, that's the one. He's
Randy
both.
Quaid.
Wait, you think he's truthful?
Hey boys, I'm back.
so
I mean, he had the right idea through that whole movie, though. He was the only one drinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
I fly. I pilot.
The best line was the
Drunk.
best line from that was the Jewish rabbi who was like, "What? You really think they pay $500 for a toilet seat?" When they asked how they funded all that stuff.
$3,000 for a hammer.
Mm-hmm.
so
That was surprisingly probably accurate of how things were.
what do you expect to find in this data dump? Like, do you
Nothing.
think?
Oh man.
Same different
I think
So
that's
what's
what
scary-
I think most people think that, which is why nobody's really paying attention to it.
I
The
think it's
scary
gonna be a lot
thing
of boring material with, and then if you did find something cool, you're just gonna be like, okay, well I knew that.
Yeah.
All of
I think the problem is most of us work with the government or at least big corporations on a regular basis. I am well experienced in reams of information that says absolutely nothing. So that's kind of what I'm expecting. There might be tidbits in there, but it's stuff that we probably already knew.
I don't know.
It's not going to change anything.
Maybe there's talk of like maybe there is a Men in Black type organization.
You know what's scarier than them saying that there are no aliens?
What's that?
Them acknowledging that, yeah, those are absolutely not aliens. Those are just other Earth powers, and they're just, yeah, we're so outgunned. Don't worry about it. Because that's a little more scary, and the fact that they're just ignoring that sort of blasé. I almost think aliens would be the preferred answer.
Yeah.
Terry,
Actually, I'm just waiting for somebody to knock on Nick's door.
That's funny because I just ordered DoorDash, so at any point someone's gonna knock on my door.
It's coming.
You should have just left that alone and be like, oh, you took
Yeah,
it totally could have
I'm
put it
waiting for a
No.
flash in the background.
They're dogs. They scare
Just
me.
let me know if anybody walks in behind me and is armed.
So what about you, Terry? Do you think they're going to find anything? You've been silent.
I don't. I think they're going to be, that data dump is going to be filled with misinformation, disinformation, and pure obfuscation.
See, this is the official answer because he worked for NASA, so he's
did.
got to know these things.
I work for the department that faked the moon landing.
That's right. You did a great job, though. I still believe. I still believe it.
So I interviewed once one of the rocket scientists that was actually involved in the moon landing, and I asked him how long after it happened did people start this conspiracy theory that it was faked, and he goes, "Yeah, as soon as I got home from work that day, my mom called."
ouch.
Yeah, he's like, "So how'd you fake it?"
It's amazing. How'd you do that?
Oh my
Wow, I thought I had a harsh.
All right.
Okay, so what do you so we've covered what do you expect to find in them. Why do you think if there are aliens in some of this, why do you think they've let us see them without actually contacting us? Is it like oh shit, fuck, like Mel said, it's the class doofus who forgot to cover his tracks?
It's
I don't know,
Cheech and Chong. All aliens are Cheech and Chong.
I love it.
It seems kind of ridiculous that aliens would send their D class, across the universe to meet with other people. So who knows? Mistakes, oversights, pure chance. Who knows what causes these sightings?
Malfunctioning AI. Maybe they were never supposed to be here.
You're saying the GPS got them
Somebody
to the wrong
failed
planet?
their Skynet?
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep, their galactic GPS malfunctioned. Or because we're transmitting so much garbage into the stratosphere, we look like the wrong thing.
Yeah.
We are
True.
the wrong thing.
Maybe it was alien DoorDash, and there's some alien somewhere waiting, and it's been 1,000 years, and he's wondering what the heck is up.
Like, where's my space pizza?
He's like, I've
Right.
got your pizza, man, but I can't find your house. It's junk. It's all-
Some alien's got his phone.
Looks like a disco ball with just crap floating all around it.
Looks like a disco ball.
Just
So-
this.
Are there any possibilities that, other than aliens, that could account for these sightings that you think? Maybe JR thinks there's time travelers, but, you know, I've also told JR he needs to stop eating the weird mushrooms that grew in his yard. So,
Or share them.
They're totally organic. It's okay.
It's organic. You'll lose 20 pounds too, and you'll see kittens with wings.
So I've been listening to some podcasts on this very subject in preparation for this episode, and they were harping on this idea that if it's not aliens and it really is a foreign power, one, why has our intelligence apparatus failed so badly? Because they should be able to see that from orbit, that much power consumption, etc. And why haven't they made contact? And so I came up with the idea, what if they're not aliens? It's actually time travelers going back in time to make sure we don't jacket things up so badly we destroy the planet that they'd call home.
Well, they've done a terrible job.
Well, maybe it was going to get worse next. Maybe that's what 2020 is all about, 2021. They're trying to stop it from going the other direction.
no. I'm not going to hear the theory that the sequel to 2020 is 2021. No.
Well, it can't get any worse.
Theater near you.
Shut up, Chris. Shut up, Chris. No. If it gets worse, I'm blaming you now.
That's like thinking
That's all right.
Jurassic
I'll be
Park
that guy.
was a good idea.
Wait, it's not?
It was. It was a great idea.
The second
It was
time,
very entertaining to watch it.
Nah.
See,
But
JR,
the
the
movies-
reason that I know that it's not time travelers is because the one thing that all these time travel stories don't take into account is the fact of how quickly the Earth is moving around the sun, which is flying through space at an unimaginable speed, and our galaxy is moving along as well. If you go back in time, you're going to end up in deep space and be a corpsicle.
What if they account for that?
Oh, sure. Let's get into science fiction now. I say wink, 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 wink.
I mean, you've written time travel stories,
I have.
so you would know these things. Wait a minute. Are you one of them? Is that how you wrote those stories?
Why, yes, I am. You've caught me out. I admit it for the entire internet. I am a time traveler.
We knew it all along.
Yeah, no, you're way too broke.
Sorry. I would have a lot more money. I would be Elon Musk. I think Elon Musk is a time traveler.
It's possible.
Gene Roddenberry.
No. Nobody would go back to El Paso.
Nobody would go to El Paso in the first place.
I did. The army made me do it.
Oh, no.
Maybe not by choice. You were forced.
Pretty much.
So that goes back to if it's not time travelers and it really is aliens, since the idea that other nations are doing this without our knowing it and never using it for 70 years through several wars, then why haven't we had contact? That gets the Fermi paradox.
Because would you want to make contact with us?
I mean, maybe we're the normal ones compared to them.
Okay, other than Mel, nobody here wants to make contact with us. We all want to make contact with Mel.
Actually,
Mel.
what I'm thinking is it's probably more like Margaret Mead. Margaret Mead was an alien to the apes, and she's in talking to them, going, wow, you guys are interesting, but stupid. But she isn't going and talking to all the other apes. She's just talking to that one little group of apes, and they're thinking, oh, dear God, and God has come down to talk to us, or a demon. I suspect that's what's going on with us is why would they want to talk to all of us? We're not that interesting. Oh, this little group is, oh, look, they can play with tools. Oh, isn't that cute? And then they leave because they learned everything they wanted to learn. We're the anthropological wonder of the universe.
I think Earth is more like a cosmic sideshow. We're like the sideshow freaks for the rest of the galaxy.
Right.
Well, I mean, we're still anthropological wonders, just circus freaks over at the other side.
Or
So
we have made contact and the government has disappeared the people who are not in the in group.
Or maybe they made contact and that's how we got the Bible.
Oh, now you're gonna get all the hate mail.
That's a whole nother war.
Send your hate mail to Doc Cisca at blastersandbladespodcast@gmail.com.
Normally we have them send it to you.
No, Doc, you get the hate this time.
Hell
So
yeah.
why do you think the Fermi paradox exists there, Nick? Why haven't they visited us?
Oh, the Fermi paradox. So it's either we are the most advanced creatures in the universe, which maybe
That's depressing.
yeah. Can you
imagine?
Or that we are so unadvanced that we
Impressive.
just don't they drive like they lock their doors when they fly by. And like Earth.
See, that's the other thing is everyone always assumes alien and they think ET and sentience. Like technically a microbe on Mars is an alien life form.
Did you know Mars is completely inhabited by robots?
Absolutely. The cyborg have taken
Yes,
over.
it is.
You know?
That's why we should nuke them, just to be careful.
Only way to be sure.
Yep, nuke them from orbit. Only way to be sure.
Yeah.
I think the answer to the Fermi paradox is probably civilizations go through life cycles and they rise, they peak, and they collapse. And we're just at a bad spot to pick out the ones that might have been transmitting signals. I think it's just bad chance. They're rare and they die out.
Or just like nobody else has the technology to travel faster than the speed of light or fold space.
Jump point!
You know?
Stargates in space.
You know?
Oh God, she's drunk. She's dancing.
We're working on catching up to you, Doc.
So do
I
you
have been
think
at a con all day.
so do you think it's going to definitely be carbon-based life form? Because I know they found sulfur-based life form in the Yellowstone Flats. So we know it's possible to have life. I mean, that's not aliens. It's just
Maybe
course.
silicone based. But what if they're not aliens? What if they're just three-dimensional beings?
oh, another cat sighting. Drink.
No,
So
what if there's
Crystal Skull?
what if they're so strange? Like even
Like Dr.
think about
Blanket.
string theory, right? What if their strings are vibrating at a different frequency and therefore they don't actually exist to us? And what they send are more like probes.
There goes my
Well, if they don't exist, we'd never notice them, so it would be a moot point.
Right. Maybe they can see us, we can't see them. And they choose not to
And
interact.
again, we would never notice, so it would never impact us. It's kind of like us observing microbes. The microbes don't know we're there. They don't care.
Oh, right.
And that
right.
could just be part of the problem. We're so low on the level of evolution that it's, oh, look at the cute little microbes and how they act. Okay, next petri dish.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow, I have a really dark view of humanity. Sorry.
look
That's why I
at
usually blow up
like
Australia.
communicate by sound. How primitive, because they're like beaming thoughts to each other's heads and stuff.
Have you ever thought about how what we've sent
Pheromones,
out into
chemicals.
space? Have you thought about how what we've sent into space will be interpreted? Because in our attempt to teach them human biology, they could be like, "Dude, why is this guy sending me a dick pic?" I
Tinder.
mean, in the 50s, they were sending out all kinds of weird anatomical stuff. Terry, were you involved in that project?
No, I'm involved in the project where we're beaming Pornhub out to the intergalactic neighborhood.
But what about fans only?
Oh, OnlyFans. We got to have
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
Poor Nick.
I ain't never gonna live that down, am I?
No.
So in case you missed it, Winder, he started an OnlyFans when they thought it would replace Patreon before it became a porn site, and then he forgot about it. So now he has an OnlyFans.
I gotta go out there and subscribe right now. Bum, 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 bum.
You're like, hell yeah, I suck toes. I'm like, I'm not that kind of site, dude. I thought it was Patreon. Actually, for $25, I'll send you a picture of my feet. Hairy toes and all.
Can you do the rock thing? You know, with one peck and then the other?
Go what?
Make your
The
pet.
rock thing. You know,
Oh,
where,
actually,
where,
oh, like Terry.
No, control yourself.
I got to do more push-em-ups for that.
And this is why the aliens don't come.
See, this is exactly why they lock the doors when they fly past Earth.
There's
So
a reason for
do you guys follow any of the more ancient believed sightings?
Well, the book of Ezekiel in the Bible is all about alien sightings.
All right, now you know to send your hate mail to Nick at Blasters and Blades
Before they
Podcast.
do that, just remember I was born and raised as an Irish Catholic. I'm still a quasi-practicing Catholic. I'm a really bad Catholic or a really good one. I don't know. But I'm a horrible Mormon. So you can send your hate mail to J.R. Handley at Blasters and Blades. Oh, yeah, she's Catholic too, and we're just horrible at it.
You're just like rolling in front of me. Like, don't even look at my wife. you don't need to look at her.
No.
So there's been some speculation that some of the odd paintings and the hieroglyphs in Egypt were describing alien landings. Because I know I watched that guy
that's
on the History Channel.
Stargate.
That's the History Channel.
Stargate.
No, there's really that guy with
Stargate.
the frizzy hair who thinks that.
Stargate.
Listen, if
TV series.
See?
Is it possible? Yes, it is.
I
Well, then,
want to go ahead and say it's aliens. Aliens.
well, then you've got the 1591 Nuremberg sighting. They call it the celestial. Was it the celestial phenomenon? Where they actually it was seen by enough people.
1561 was the celestial Namenberg sighted over celestial phenomenon sighted over Nuremberg. Listen to your own notes. not
Wow.
me.
1561 celestial phenomenon. It was cited by enough people that the local newspaper wrote about it and interviewed people that saw it, and then they did a wood carving relief of it. Which is, let me see if I can get that picture, and then I'll share it.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
So anybody else?
That's what I really want to know. That's the first question I'm asking a damn alien if I get to meet one. Do you
How
guys
do they
have
vibrate?
technology like a lightsaber?
I want Ahsoka's hair. No.
Come on, y'all see my living room. It looked like Lucasfilm threw up in there.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Lucasfilm
No,
does
it's
throw up
good.
normally on the screen. So
Hold on, I've got the picture. I'm going to show you what the relief carving is. Has
Here's
anybody else?
hoping he doesn't send a dick pic. Please don't send a dick pic.
Like,
Has anybody else seen any of studied any of the historic believed sightings?
the black mailbox, and so
I have not.
everybody talks aliens.
I've never seen a black one.
We could go for that drive. It's only like an hour and a half outside of Vegas.
There you go.
So this is the carving that they did in the 1561 Nuremberg newspaper, and they said that there were rods and cylinders, and then little smaller cylinders flew out of the bigger rods, and people from all over the city described the same thing. Now you could say mass hysteria. I don't know, maybe they ate some bad bread or something. Ergot poisoning is believed to explain other crazy
Or-
phenomena.
Aliens.
Or aliens.
If they're all seeing the same thing, I tend to think aliens.
So anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. I remember reading about it in school, so when we were prepping these notes, I dug that up. So
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
it is.
Oh, cat drink.
Yeah, you got to drink. So I know what Terry's cats. So did you got anybody else seeing any? Oh no, it's Chris's cat this time.
Say I don't see it
It's
in
the
mine.
tail.
That's one way to get some tail. Am I right, fellas?
Closest
So-
Chris gets.
When do you guys think there have been any other historic sightings, or have you guys read about any of them?
God, I should have prepped for this show better. I suck.
Yeah, there's another one I'm thinking of that looked like a wagon
Unless you were
wheel.
warned. I wasn't even
You
warned.
know the one.
Yeah, but y'all smart. I'm dumber than shit.
They have the carvings inside the pyramids.
So, like Stonehenge.
rockets and stuff.
Stonehenge is probably
Alien.
alien.
What about the South American Indians with the huge sky?
We talked about
Where
people.
they send the outlines that you can only see from the sky.
Oh, in Peru? Like the
Oh
ant,
yeah.
the bug.
Yeah, the huge pictures on the ground.
That's
Yeah.
one in
that you
America.
literally can only see if you're in airplanes.
Yeah. See, and if that's like aliens tagging, like they're like graffiti artists, that's horrible. Because if I was an alien, there's got to be a sense of humor with these guys. I'd just be drawing penises and stuff.
They're like, this is our version of an ant. Good luck.
Maybe they are drawing penises.
I don't want to be the creature where their penis looks like an ant.
Well, we were just discussing that with Steve.
So I've got another one that from Egypt.
Okay.
I'll share that. Speaking of penises and ants.
It could be.
All right, I'm going to share this one.
They have pincers.
Our poor listeners, they probably wonder what we're on.
So this is the belief.
I'm high on that GOD, man.
This is from one of the alien. This is from one of the Egyptian reliefs. And they have some have speculated that was some sort of alien technology he was showing, or it was just a phallic symbol. I don't know. It could go either way.
It looks like an eggplant.
It looks like it's an emoji. It's an ancient emoji.
It's an eggplant.
Also called a hieroglyphic, but I digest.
Yeah, so next time we have an alien chat, we'll have our former guest, Rainbow Sun Franks, who's also a believer and acted in some of the alien movies. So maybe he has insight.
So
You have it on your phone.
I know, but I want to put you a speaker.
when did
Alexa, do it.
All right, Doc, you were asking?
what would be a fictional depiction of an alien that scares you the most?
Xenomorph from Aliens.
Oh,
Aliens is such a boring movie.
What?
How are we friends?
Because I have
Mel, you got to fix this. You're local to her. You got to tie her to a chair and make her watch it till she likes it.
No, you can.
Okay,
well,
no,
you have to watch.
here's the problem: is that Cisca is very young, and by the time she saw Aliens, everybody had talked it to death. So she didn't understand the primal horror of seeing it in the theater with nobody warning you what was going to happen. Aliens was not boring. But if you've heard about it all your life, I'm sure it's just as like, really? You guys cared about this?
Oh yeah, the Predator.
Yeah, forgive her.
Yeah.
So
So
yeah, I don't know, for me,
Okay, look,
terrifying.
I used to have nightmares about the Star Wars trash monster, okay? That's how old I am. That trash monster was
Terry Mixer was
horrifying.
like, I was there in the beginning.
I was there. I
beginning.
was working the boom mic. It was awesome.
I don't know. Like I was gonna say the Terminator one was a good one too, but the other one is if you guys have watched Stargate Atlantis, the replicators. It's been used in other shows too. The idea of this machine that just
They started in
consumes-
the original, for the record.
I know.
No.
Yes, they did.
Okay, we want to talk about terrifying aliens, the weeping angels from Doctor Who.
Nothing in Doctor Who is scary. Sorry, no.
What?
What?
No.
Exterminate,
The
exterminate.
guys that would make you forget they were there
Put some
and you
respect on
mark
that when
your
you talk about
arms.
the Daleks, okay? Put some respect on it.
The
The
Daleks
gas
were weird.
mask that seals to your face and becomes your face?
Oh, that one?
Honestly, Miracle
Honestly,
Day was
after
the
all
most
COVID
horrifying
2020,
movie.
it kind of got me too.
Which one? Which one,
Miracle
Mel?
Day.
I don't think I've seen
Miracle Day. Torchwood. Everybody
Torchwood.
quits dying.
it. Oh yeah, Miracle Day, that episode.
It was probably one of the scariest things I've ever seen because you have people who their body is burned to being like a spine and a skeleton, and they're still alive and screaming.
Oh god, yeah.
You cannot kill them. It was the creepiest, one of the creepiest movies. I've never understood the whole, oh, we want to live forever. Nobody should ever die. Oh no, please let people die. Because some of the stuff on that just gave you chills. It's a hard movie
I
to
have to
watch.
die at some point. I'm going to eventually run out of dad jokes for this show.
So
Okay, I
Kind
can
of
hook you up with
segue-
people. I know people who have a lot of dad jokes.
Hook me up.
oh god, have you been following David Weber's jokes?
Oh God.
We don't want to horrify them too much, so let's go back to talking about aliens. So is any other
Dad.
Okay. So we've
Good.
talked about like scary aspects of aliens, but have any of you guys put aliens in your work? I know that answer for 2 of the 3 of you.
Yes.
So Mel
Yes.
has.
Lots.
I have.
I think
Terry,
we all have.
Aliens every day.
come on, Crown Eater. Have you put aliens in any of your work?
You get it? It was a Home Depot.
Winder.
Yes.
Yeah, see, he's put aliens because I know I wrote some of that with him.
Yes,
I
but
actually have to
you're
look at my books. I
answering.
forgot which ones I put aliens in.
And which
So-
ones he can talk about because they were ghostwritten.
Yeah. Ghostwriting. I tend to mentally hang on to those stories a long time. So yes. In fact, I have a failed alien invasion is one of my books from the aliens' point of view.
So you guys have probably all then designed your aliens. How did you go about doing that?
I drew them because I have that skill.
They moved into the
I know because you don't do the words very well. But how about we'll go with age before beauty. Terry.
I just make up the least little details that I need to make the alien, and then I figure out what I need after that. I'm a pantser. That's how it works.
Did you
As long as you're still wearing pants on Virtual Con, we're good with that.
I stand up, and prove it, but nobody knows what happens then.
pumping venom?
Uh-oh. Miss Stabby, you got something to say? We'll listen. He might not, but we will.
He was complaining about the fact that his action figures are falling over, but he was only looking at the one of the 4 shelves. And I told him to look to his left because Jessica Jones was humping Venom.
Yeah, but she's also twerking on Deadpool's head.
Yeah, like there's a whole alien thing happening right there because she.
You
secretly go to his figurines and you rearrange them and see if he notices. Is this how this works?
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't do that because all mine are up there and he'll do it to me, and my chicks don't stand as well because they're all in heels because apparently that's what DC and Marvel do with female action figures, is put them in high heels.
Aw, Nick does not want you playing with his dolly.
No, she can play with them all she wants.
My dollies.
But when the kid comes here, he's like, "Can I maybe rearrange?" I'm like, "Do not touch my action figures."
Action figure, doll, whatever. We don't judge.
It's adorable.
So Winder, how do you go about creating your aliens?
This chick right here.
I take something that is definitely not alien and then make it alien. So
That
like,
is like the worst answer ever.
so like
Like the chick from Teeth.
quartz crystals. I'll turn a stack of quartz crystals into an alien and figure out how it works and put that in the story. At least enough how it works that it's mildly plausible. But I don't think aliens are going to look like us just with ridges on our noses. I think they're going to be bizarre.
They may not be humanoid, yeah.
Okay, how about you, Mel?
I'm one of those people who figures out what do I need my alien to do, and then I back it up to figure out why they're doing it. Like, I have aliens who are, so I'll give away one of the key points of one of my series. They seeded Earth with AIs to force a percentage of all the humans to turn to animals. Well, why would they do that? Well, they want warriors to fight. Well, why do they want warriors to fight? Well, they're in a war. Why are they in a war? Well, they have this grudge against this other race. Why? And I keep just going, why, until I've developed entire cultures, civilizations, social classes, everything else. And then I go back and write the story.
So in other words, your pants don't matter. You plot and plan.
No, I design. Remember, I'm a long-term gamer. I'm a very long-term gamer. So I have to create the world and all of the systems. And then I go write the story and use like this much of what I've designed.
So I can design the game so Nick over here can roll a crit 0. Instead of pushing the ogre off the cliff, I gently gave it a massage in the back. The ogre is uncomfortable.
No, and then the ogre proposes to you.
Oh, that would be an interesting.
Yeah, probably.
You'd probably say yes, wouldn't you, Nick?
Oh, yeah.
So when you drew your aliens, were they humanoid or?
I've got a few different ones. The comic book I'm working on now is called Solarian Prime, and it's about the first civilization in the universe, which were the Solarians. And they haven't figured out how to travel off-world in any other capacity other than projecting their consciousness, attaching their consciousness to a photon and sending it out into space, and hopefully it finds something. And then they kind of like merge with that, like a host. So they rent bodies pretty much. So that's how they explore the universe.
Wasn't there a Heinlein story about that?
Maybe. And everyone's been gracious enough not to bring it up.
No, I mean, it wasn't exactly like that, but.
No, I've been like, if you've read any of my work, you know where my influences come from. It's like, okay, that guy was really into Spawn and Venom in the 90s. You know?
I don't know. I never read comics.
Spawn was awesome.
Pictures.
Much like Mel, I tend to let the needs of the story dictate things.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is, too. Like, I do it a lot like how Mel does it. I reverse engineer, okay, this is what I need my alien to do. And then there's kind of what I want it to look like, but also I want it to look familiar, but iconic, and it also has to look alien, you know? So, and if you look, the best place to look around is just strange creatures that we already have on our planet and just dial them to 11.
And in some of what I do, I like to play on the iconic, like the E.T. little green men, like toy with that idea of what we think aliens look like from our early sci-fi, and then just extrapolate and sort of as a nod to the past. I do know that there is the theory that aliens would be humanoid and be bipedal with opposable thumbs because it's believed that that's what's necessary to create technology, but I don't know necessarily that that's true, because if you can do some crazy psychic mind control, like, you know, use your brain for telekinesis, do you really need opposable thumbs?
You just need something nearby that you can control that has opposable thumbs.
Or just control the object directly.
Having lots of little tentacles would work just fine, too.
The Japanese got that
We kind
covered.
of pride ourselves as being the advanced species on the planet because we have opposable thumbs. So, I don't know. Like, tentacles would totally work, you know, because they're malleable. You can wrap them around. It could act like a thumb. I want tentacles.
Oh.
Okay, we are not getting into hentai hour. I do draw a line at that.
Oh, that's where you're going to draw the line?
Yes.
Well, yeah, I'm standard.
Miss Dabby says she's not drawing a line, but I am.
So of the stuff that you've written aliens in, what's your favorite alien that you've written, and what series is it? That makes sense. So Terry, of all the aliens you've drawn or you've written, what's your favorite and what book was it in?
I can't remember which book it was in. It was in one of the Empire books, and I created an alien species that was very Avatar-like. But when people started digging into the science behind it, there was so much human DNA inside the aliens that they had to be manufactured. And I still haven't gone back to figure out why that is.
I think that was book 10. It's like,
I barely remember, which book I wrote anything in. So there we go.
I'm surprised you remember it because Jared wasn't there. It was Kelsey dealing with them because she rocks, Jared.
That's why I was kind of frustrated with him for not making the main character in that scene. So that's why I remember. What about you, Mel? What's your favorite alien that you've written?
I've only got 2 alien races right now. I mean, at least as long as you don't okay, that's not true. I have lots of short stories with aliens. Honestly, I liked my dragons that I created because I did create them as aliens. And what was funny is the thing that I enjoyed the most was creating their food sources. Most people, when you look at aliens, their food sources tend to be static, fruit, grains, meat. That's all they ever do. I actually had them actively raising termites and bees to eat the termites because that was one of their food staples. And so every house would have like termite mounds built into the walls that they would reach in and pull out all the larvae and stuff as part of their food. And it's really a practical way to have food. Just humans tend to react badly to it.
Yeah.
I've had chocolate grasshoppers. Those are awesome.
You're weird.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that maggot cheese.
You're being cultured, JR. I'm sorry.
So what about you, Winder? What's your?
It's a mental thing.
Yeah, it's kind of gross.
You eat lobster and shrimp. I mean, those are just sea bugs.
Yeah, that's true.
They're
Winder, what's
tasty.
your?
They're not tiny and they don't wiggle when I eat them.
A lot bigger than a grasshopper.
I bet a grasshopper would just be awesome if you like sauteed it with some butter and some garlic.
You guys can put, like,
Everything tastes better with butter and garlic.
That's
All
true. I would eat
Why
a
did-
human being if it
It's
was
like
sauteed.
everybody's more tolerable with enough wine.
Or whiskey.
Winder, what's your favorite alien you've designed? Oh, he's blushing.
No, I think that was a sneeze. God bless you.
Is it
Is it Calaxians and space trash, which were basically gelatinous octopus-like aliens with one short little vestigial bone left over, which I usually had
remember that
removed
one.
for cosmetic purposes.
I remember that one. It's a good story.
But
So
they were fun because I just made them very stereotypical alien and didn't worry about it.
I love how there's a stereotypical alien in Winder's mind.
well, I mean, there isn't in yours. There isn't in yours, Doc.
No, I don't write stories.
You've written one. I
I've
happen to
written
know
one.
that.
You're right. I wrote one. We killed Chuck Norris. It was glorious.
Yeah.
You know it's fiction then. Nobody kills Chuck Norris.
Well, we killed the guy from The Matrix whose name we couldn't say, and there are lots of famous people we killed in that one. But I don't know. For me, I like the mystery. So, like the favorite alien I've created, we didn't actually show on scene. We just sort of showed the after effect. I actually wrote that. It's Breach Team with Winder, and we showed them, but through the after effects of what they left behind as they destroyed.
Yeah.
And you never actually saw them, which I think that leaving it unknown makes it even creepier. Sort of that old horror aesthetic. So,
Yeah, that was fun.
So, who do you think will find aliens first? Space Daddy Elon Musk or the SETI Institute?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
Definitely Elon.
After the
Elon
Arecibo
Musk.
radio observatory went down, I have no hope.
so I would have said Elon Musk, Space Daddy. That's why I wrote it in there that way. But his position on the Bitcoin has me questioning his intelligence lately, or maybe he's just playing us all. I don't know. So now I'm starting to think, follow the money, and he has gotten a lot of government funding, so maybe he is the misdirection.
He got more money than David Cropper. Yeah.
He does. But I definitely don't think it's going to be NASA that's going to do it. Sorry, Terry.
Hey, don't apologize to me. You know, NASA doesn't do anything first. Not anymore.
We used to. They used to. They put a man on the moon first, allegedly.
Dresden.
That's what they'd like you to believe.
So in
Hey, you
in
know
the
what
universe,
people can say? They can say everything they want about the U.S. metric system, but only one country's gone to the moon.
not anymore. I think China and Japan have both put stuff on the moon.
They haven't sent people to the moon.
They haven't sent people to the moon, JR. Get with the program.
So when we were creating Breach Team, we were creating the whole world that got up to that point, and we were speculating how we got into space. And Winder and I came up with the idea the first space colony is going to start on the moon, and it will be some sort of reality TV show, like the Wives of the Terran Moon Colony or something. I don't know, Real Housewives kind of deal. I really think something like that's probably going to be how we get there.
Sure, and then we can watch them all die slowly when they run out of supplies.
Well, I mean, clearly we're going to have to airdrop them supplies at first.
They're gonna have to science the shit out of it.
Damn straight they will.
We have to airdrop them air.
Potatoes. Potatoes are the only thing that's going to save them.
Okay, so Jody Lynn 9
Gonna hire Andy.
Moon Tracks by Jody Lynn 9 actually does do some of that, where it's a YA book, but it's really well done, and it's about the lunar colony, and there's actually a group of students who are up there, and they are a reality TV show as well.
So hold on, Doc. Mel was trying to say something. Her lag was getting us.
Mel was agreeing with me.
I was basically saying that they're gonna hire Andy Weir.
Okay.
Sorry, we're sidebarring over here.
It's okay. I can mute you.
Ooh, snap.
What?
Accurate.
See,
but
you think you're in control of your little world.
All right.
She
let's-
is
let's
in
move this-
control of your little world.
She is, yeah.
And
JR.
everything else.
All right, let's get us back to aliens before he gets stabbed on live TV.
Imagine the ratings boost.
I would never.
Do it.
She would
Do it.
never
Just like-
do
just like in
that.
Scream. Just like in Scream.
It
No.
would be evident.
Yeah.
I think you're stabbing too deep. I'm feeling a little woozy here.
So when you're creating,
And then the screen goes black. Come on. We all know how this works. Because then you
So-
guys think I did it, but you don't know if I actually did.
And then I
Well,
show up.
really.
Work, that's all that matters.
so what is the biggest pitfall, the hardest part of designing an alien culture?
Making it not like humans, but
Yeah.
still relatable.
But we always still fall into that trap. You know?
I really like aliens from Arrival.
What are the aliens from Arrival? I
You
can't
haven't seen
remember.
Arrival?
You haven't seen
I
Arrival?
have been. It's been a while.
Those big, like, octopus-looking ones, and they're like,
Oh, yeah.
what?
Oh, is that the one where the storytelling's all time out of sequence? Yeah, I wanted my money back.
You didn't like that one? I thought it was pretty decent.
But I dug the aliens in the way that they
No.
communicated. With
I
the-
Mel's
have
got a
an
question.
Best part of the movie.
Mel's got a point here.
Okay, Contact was not a sci-fi movie. Contact was a movie about social reactions to alien contact. They marketed it all wrong. If you had gone to the movie expecting to see a reaction to aliens, you would have gotten it. If you went to see aliens, you hated the movie. It was such a marketing fail, but the movie actually is really good if you walk in with the right mindset.
Yes, I
Another
enjoyed
good
it.
I
one
have
about
opinions.
reactions to aliens showing up on this world, monsters. If you haven't seen that one, Signs is a good one too. But Monsters, that one we just watched.
The
Signs
signs
is good.
are actually really
Monsters?
like.
Monsters, yeah, it's
What was that one?
aliens sent a like a
I don't
what was it,
remember.
a comet?
Which one did we?
Monsters, the one that was in South America or in Mexico, I mean.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
The
so
quarantine zone.
So
Yeah,
they sent
yeah.
aliens sent like a preemptive strike by sending like this meteor to Earth, and it lands in pretty much middle of Mexico.
In between Mexico and America.
And the spores that were on there merged with the local flora and fauna and created like these giant monsters. So you had this quarantine zone from like the southern border of the United States to like halfway
Through Mexico.
through Mexico. And it's all about like this photographer who
Has to get this rich girl back to her dad.
yeah, his the publisher's daughter for the newspaper that he works for had to get her to the safe zone.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a good movie.
It was
And the monsters
it
are
was a good
cool.
movie.
The aliens are
monsters
cool.
were very
Okay, yeah, Attack from Mars, classic.
Yeah, that's
Freaking
another classic. I'm just trying to
That's
throw
not,
out some.
that's not a classic movie. That's what JR looks like.
That's okay. I
'Cause he
love
never-
those aliens.
I think they're
That
adorable.
is not true. His head does not explode when exposed to high-pitched sounds.
This is true.
The movie
We've met
the movie you
him. We
described
both-
sounds an
we-
awful
His head did
lot
not
like
explode.
Annihilation from 2018.
Yeah, and that book series is good. If you've never read it, pick it up. It's a quick read, and they're all really cool. And the movie really wasn't. I don't know. Like I had read the book because I heard the movie was coming out, so I rushed out and I read the book, and I was like, all right, cool. This is gonna be a badass movie if they follow the book. And what did they do? They Hollywooded it up.
Yeah, that's what they usually do.
Of course they
So,
did.
kind of like I Am Legend. I was so disappointed with I Am Legend.
I did like when he screamed at the mannequin though.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was funny.
Fred.
No, I like when they replaced
So-
it with Fred, and that made me laugh.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
So, what alien is your favorite alien?
Paul.
The
Spock.
Predator.
Spock.
Winder,
Okay.
what were you saying?
The Predator.
That's my name, Casper.
Mork.
Okay.
He was from Ork.
My favorite.
Terry?
JR is my favorite alien.
Oh, I
Oh,
heard you too.
That was great.
JR, what's your favorite alien?
Mork from Ork. Or Alf. Alf was a good one.
Nanu.
Mm,
Alf was
Yeah.
terrible. He eats cats.
yeah, I
Oh,
was
that
gonna
makes
say
him a
that.
good one. He didn't eat dogs, did he?
No, just cats. He was from kind of Melmac. I still remember that.
So, Nick and Miss Stabby.
Paul is her favorite alien.
Paul. How can you not love Paul? It's an alien that travels with dudes coming from Comic-Con.
Why does everybody think I'm trying to probe him? What am I looking for? Farts?
No, when he comes out with the bagels on his finger, it's still perfection. Anybody want a bagel?
Oh, whiskey burns when it comes through the nose, honey.
Freaking amazing.
All right, I'm going to pull up a picture for you, Doc.
I would say Venom. Venom is technically.
He really is.
Fair
Venom's
enough.
a pretty badass alien.
All right.
So JR is trying to figure out pictures.
No, I'm pulling up a picture of Paul. I got you. Doc. See, don't think I can watch it.
Paul?
Yeah, we gotta watch.
Yeah.
We're watching Paul tonight.
So I've actually met Simon Pegg, and he is as cool.
Right there.
As cool. But I mean, come on. How do you not love that?
What are you doing? Okay, so.
And he even explains as to why he's like, you guys have been drip fed my face for so many years, so you don't freak out when, you meet me. And I'm like,
He played Scotty.
I'm like, that makes perfect freaking sense because growing up in Vegas, we have Area 51 and the test site and the black mailbox, and we're so desensitized to that if an alien walked up, I might be like,
I'm pretty sure that one,
What's
you're
up,
an
bro?
alien, and two, the half the population of Vegas are aliens.
why would you think I'm an alien?
Why wouldn't
I need to hear this.
I can't put it on air.
Okay. Well, if you can't put it on air, and she hasn't stabbed you yet, so we'll move on before he kills you, or she kills him, I guess.
She's definitely gonna devour.
So
Don't worry, guys. I don't have tentacles.
Well, that's good to know. Terry, if you had a second favorite alien, let's get back to aliens before she kills him on air.
Here, stab me with the Apple pencil. That'll be fun.
Oh, I think Terry froze.
He's drifting off.
It's his thinking man face.
The thinking man. Oh, he's back. He's back.
Second
Darn
favorite
internet.
alien, Terry?
I was being probed. My apologies.
How did I feel?
Like being probed.
So what's your second favorite alien so we can get back to the topic and not getting stabbed?
Ooh, critters. The creatures from Critters.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Little porcupines from hell.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Terry?
I don't know. I don't really have favorite aliens.
I think most of them are cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
It sound like my stepson. He's like, what's your fifth favorite alien?
What's your fifth favorite Star Wars character? I don't
Fifth favorite.
know.
What?
Clone Trooper 1291. I don't know.
THX 1138.
Maybe I should say,
Oh.
just cause the entire audience to fall over and say Jar Jar Binks.
okay, which is the alien you don't like the most?
Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks, baby.
I actually didn't
No,
find that
Yeah,
annoying.
before you asked it. Jar Jar Binks. F that guy.
Did you see the treaties proving that he's a Darth Sith? That he's a user of the Force on the dark side?
Nice.
That
They
would
even
explain a
show
lot.
Misa used the dark side.
proving. Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah, we haven't let Viking watch that because he would start talking like Jar Jar, and then I might have to kill him.
So who's the alien that
Yes, he would.
John Travolta was in, where he was an alien and they were invading Earth, and it was based on the Scientology guy's book?
Oh, Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, that was the one
Battlefield
I
Earth.
hate the most because they were so
Battlefield.
stupid. It's
I refuse to watch that movie because it just looked like trash. And I stand by
I read the book when I was a kid, and you didn't miss much.
I didn't think I did. Plus, it's John Travolta.
I mean, he can do some disco.
He's got the acting range of a carrot.
Until he puts on a wig.
No, not. Well,
Then
then
no.
carrot.
Then you haven't seen Hairspray.
But yeah, so for me, I don't know.
I
It was the aliens from. It was the aliens from Battlefield Earth.
Now what?
That would be my least favorite.
Jar Jar is a Sith collaborator.
Least favorite? Least favorite? Good Lord. Honestly, Okay, do you know how many movies and series I've seen over my lifetime?
12.
There's lots. I would
No,
have
you
to
have no
say,
gray hair.
oh please, we're in the thousands.
You have no gray hair, though, my love.
No, my friends on Facebook.
It's all
That's because it's purple.
You know.
See, Terry, this is how you get rid of gray hair. You just color it all purple.
You know, I should do that before some
So
show.
most of you should. You should totally. You can get hair wax that you can put in. It just washes out without any staining. Honestly, I end up at some of the really bad B movies, like
Those are
really,
fun.
really bad B movies, like the Attack from Planet 9 or Plan 9 came from outer space. They're just so bad. They're not even amusing. I was still stuck on who was my second favorite alien.
I don't know. I think thinking back now, I think my favorite alien is probably the ones from Mars Attacks.
Yeah. Ack, ack.
Ack, 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 ack.
So the one thing I don't like, and it's not so much the aliens themselves as alien civilizations, it's like you see this on Star Trek, the early episodes. You see this on Stargate when they go through the gate, and you get to these civilizations, and there's like the whole planet has one city with like 100 people in it. Like, how do they have enough?
It's in Canada. That's where they are.
Right,
all the alien planets are in Canada.
It's got enough genetic diversity that they should all be cousins and dead within a generation. Like, there's not enough people. Enemy mine. Okay.
Kryptonian.
No, enemy mine. It gave you a perfect conflict with an actual alien race that actually had defined social structure. It was fascinating. And well, but Kal-El, honestly, they buffed up Krypton so much after the fact. It was never in the original books. Everything they did in the movies and stuff.
My whole thing with that is it's so easy to be your favorite and least favorite all circled in one because the actual Kryptonians were kind of dicks. But then you have Superman who's amazing, but that's because he was raised by humans. So like you have
honestly, the really only reason that I liked the new Henry Cavill original movie they did with Superman is they actually sold me on Superman's outfit.
Oh, Enemy Mine. I love that movie.
That was an excellent movie.
I'm stabbing myself with that.
You're supposed to stab
that is Louis Gossett Jr., by the way, as the alien.
It doesn't hurt that bad. But then I was like, it's...
I'm sorry, Mel, what were you saying?
I said that is Louis Gossett Jr. as the alien.
Yep.
Oh.
You might remember him as America's Princess on a lovely action film called, what was it, Iron Eagle?
Yes.
America's Princess?
Iron Eagle.
You hush your mouth there. I work the show now. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
All right. So before we...
Nick, I call him Captain Garber, you know.
So before we all lose our internet, because we've all been lagging horribly.
We're good.
We've all been lagging horribly today. We'll go around and we'll start with how people can find you. First, what you're writing now. We'll start with Mel.
I am still working on the Twisted Luck series, and if you want to nominate me for a Dragon Award, please do. It's being pushed for alternate history.
Okay.
I am in the middle, or a little bit over the middle of Drafted Luck, which is book 5 in the series. So, with luck, it should be out late this summer, assuming I can actually write it. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter under Bad Ash, ASH books.com, or books at all of those places.
All right, Winder, what about you? What are you writing right now, and then how can they find you?
I am actually getting back into writing, so I've got 4 different projects I'm outlining, and I'm also writing my first romance novel because that's where the ghostwriting is. Right. And you can find me on Amazon, Chris Winder.
Okay. Terry.
I am about 3 chapters away from finishing book 14 of the Empire of Bones series, and I've written about 35,000 words in a lit RPG game lit serial for Vela.
And Vela, if you don't know, we haven't talked about it here yet, but it's the new shorts. It's the short story, right?
Serialized fiction.
Serialized fiction. There we go.
Not the same thing as short stories.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, we'll have to do another discussion panel on that topic because I do like short fiction. What about you, Nick? What are you drawing or writing?
Excuse me, aliens are probing my throat right now. Sorry.
You have your picture right there?
Actually, I'm working on a new character. Calling him Charger right now.
Hold on, put it back. You're in the main screen now.
Right.
Oh
my
you
lord!
big.
You made me big.
It's an
Is that
alien.
Iron Man? It's Iron Man.
It's a superhero. That's who it is.
Charger. He's got a mask that uses like LED, and so like his facial expressions are kind of like 8-bit. You know, kind of like that punk.
So if he gets hacked, does that mean that somebody could put a smiley face on him? That's what I really want to know.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be a closed system. It's not like connected to the internet, but I'm sure somebody, and that's probably would be a funny like 3-issue arc right there. Like trying to find the guy who like hacked his mask. Like didn't commit a crime. All I did was like make it look like he's constantly like this.
Give him facial expressions.
They're playing Pornhub on his screen on his.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Have little blurry images.
But he just
Little
doesn't
bars
keep
across
the mask off. You know, he's like I'm running around with like
Randomly
hentai stuff playing on my face. So with that, I'm working on the Crimson Paladin issue 2 and finishing up the last part of Phantom Hawk Volume 2 issue 2. And then I'm drawing commissions and doing all kinds of weird stuff that people pay me to draw.
So your contact information is all permanently linked on our YouTube and in our show notes. But can you tell them, just in case they're too lazy to look, where they can find your stuff?
Oh, I made it real easy. It's at Nick Garber Art on like everything. So
Or
Twitter,
Apogee Comics.
Art, Instagram at Nick Garber Art, Facebook Nick Garber or Nick Garber Art, OnlyFans at Nick Garber Art. Fans of only.
So I am.
Or you can check out my company, which is Apogee Comics, and just type in Apogee Comics in the search bar, and you'll find us.
And I am working on a military portal fantasy story where a modern striker brigade.
I want more fat liege.
The book 2 for that is already with the editor, and it's just in their pipeline, which is clogged. So that someone needs to clear their pipes. Because there's a novella that's finished with them as well about some space marines. I know I had to look it up and Google it twice and everything. So I'm working on a war military portal fantasy where a modern army unit gets sucked into a fantasy Egypt. So.
You know, it sounds awful like a book that we just read, just listened to, just
I don't know,
recently.
but I forget the name of the book.
I haven't written the title for it yet.
Oh, is it Forgotten Ruin? Because that would be a good
Forgotten
title.
Ruin sure sounds like what you're talking about.
No, those were Rangers. Totally different than a striker brigade.
Oh, totally different. Yeah.
No,
Right, the striker brigades are actually
You are
authorized
so
by more
original,
ranger
JR.
tabs and ranger units.
Chapter 1, the striker went out outside the wire. Chapter 2, striker rolled over. Chapter 3, had to wait for support to come over and
Hey,
striker.
guess what? I know very little about this, but this is hilarious to me. Striker units are actually authorized more ranger tabbed people than ranger units.
That's not true.
Yes.
The only reason that's true is because you have striker brigades and there's not many rangers. We're a select breed because
She's confusing Rangers with Ranger tabs.
Oh no, they're
I said tabs very specifically.
That's a whole other show. The difference between being ranger qualified and being a ranger.
I said tabs very specifically.
They can have that school. That school sucked.
All right, and you
I
can
lost like
find
30 pounds in the first 2 weeks, and that's when I didn't have 30 pounds to lose.
All right, so you can find us, now that we talked about how you can find everyone else, on our website at anchor.fm/blasters tech and tech blades, anchor.fm/blasters tech and tech blades. We promise a proper website is in the works. You can find us on Twitter at SF_fantasy_show, Sierra Foxtrot _fantasy_show. It's almost like the SF is for the sci-fi part of the show.
Or
You can email us. You can email us at blastersandbladespodcast@gmail.com. Send the hate mail to Nick Garber at blastersandblades.com or Cisca, both like it. You can join us on our Facebook
I don't have
group,
access to email, so it's okay.
facebook.com/Blasters and Blades podcast, or you can support the show on Anchor FM with the listener support option for a monthly contribution or a one-time thing at the buymeacoffee.com/author J.R. Handley. Be sure to put in the comment section that it's for the podcast, and I promise we will keep our co-hosts duly intoxicated. They will drink until their liver surrenders, and I will steer the boat.
Never quit, never
No, but I wanna
surrender.
give a special thank you to everybody that has bought us a coffee and thrown a little coin at their Witcher. We really appreciate the support, and hopefully you're enjoying the content. And at the helm of, with JR, hopefully they'll keep us drunkards in line and we can make more premium content for you.
We're almost paid off the editing software we had to buy, so that's a start.
And I didn't have to go work the corner, which thank you.
All right, Doc, bring us home.
No, thank you.
Thank you for spending your precious time with us. For the not corner working, finally showing up, Nick Garber.
Nick.
And the
Everyone wants to say Nick, and I understand why, but it's Nick.
The overworked J.R. Handley. I'm Cisca. This was the Blasters and Blades podcast. We'll be back next week, indulging our love of nerd culture, book, picking on J.R., then making him herd the cats. So yes, please join us. We have a lot of fun, and of course, we love everything that goes boom.